Today, we're diving into the dramatic collapse of two giant sneaker marketplaces, Restocks in the Netherlands and Kikikickz in France. Both seem to be thriving, selling hot items like Jordans and Yeezys and buzzing on TikTok, until suddenly they weren't. They shut down, leaving a trail of debt and unanswered questions. While their downfall seemed abrupt to the public, insiders weren't shocked. For months, both platforms faced a growing storm of complaints. Customers talked about orders that never arrived and refunds that were never issued. Why did these platforms fail? The sneaker resale market, once booming for over a decade, is facing a downturn. Nike and Adidas, the pillars of hype sneakers, have changed their strategies. Nike ramped up production of sought-after models, reducing their scarcity and resale value. Adidas, on the other hand, ended its Yeezy line abruptly, drying up a significant source of resale products. This shift hit smaller platforms hard. Restocks and another platform, LDN, couldn't withstand the pressure and folded. The big players like StockX, Stadium Goods, and GOAT are weathering the storm by diversifying their sales to include not just sneakers, but also collectibles and apparel. For example, GOAT acquired the streetwear site Grailed to reduce its reliance on sneakers. Even the big names aren't immune to the market's shifts. StockX, for instance, had to lay off 40 employees as part of a company-wide restructuring. This all points to a broader trend. The sneaker resale market isn't what it used to be. Despite the market cooling off, there's still interest in what's known as grails, rare sneakers that fetch high prices. Meanwhile, new brands like On and Solomon are gaining traction with their innovative designs that blend performance with style, proving there's life beyond the traditional giants like Nike and Adidas. One critical flaw in the business model of many sneaker marketplaces, including Restocks and Kikikickz, has been their heavy dependence on a few major brands like Nike and Adidas. This strategy leaves them extremely vulnerable to the fluctuations, mishaps, and controversies of these giants. When Nike ramped up production or Adidas cut off its Yeezy line, these platforms found themselves directly impacted, lacking the cushion that a more diversified inventory might have provided. If there's a lesson to be learned from these failures, it's the importance of diversification. Betting everything on the popularity of a few brands is a risky strategy that can lead to instability and ultimately failure. The sneaker market is volatile, and tying one's success too closely to the fate of one or two key players can be catastrophic. Sneakerheads like Yu-Ming Wu believe that as the market stabilizes and consumer confidence returns, resale values will start to climb. So, what do you think about the sneaker resale market's ups and downs? Is this just a temporary slump or a sign of a more significant shift in consumer behavior? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button if you found this insight interesting. Subscribe for more updates on the ever-evolving world of fashion and sneakers.